Welcome to episode 29 of Super Flashy Arrow of Tomorrow. I am your host, Sir Cussalott Travis Pointer. I am joined once again by my co-host, Mara the Shark Watkins.
29.
How you doing tonight, Mara?
I'm doing pretty well.
How
about you?
Yeah, I'm half dead, but I'm gonna make it through this podcast, though.
I know you are.
Yeah. Once again, folks, we're here talking everything CW verse, Arrowverse, Flareoverse. You know, Supergirl, Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, Arrow, all that shit. Every week. We're back again. But it's finale week. Little bit of housekeeping. We'll be doing this episode this week, and then we'll do a season-long, like a full season recap episode next week. Just talking about what happened this past season, what we expect to see next season, that kind of thing.
It'll be awesome, guys. It'll be like our own season finale.
Yeah. We can end it on number 30, because that's a nice round number, you know.
True that.
Yeah. But let's get talking about this week's finales on the CW, though. Start with Supergirl. This episode was called...
I'm not going to... I jumped the gun, so...
I know. That's
why
I just stopped and stared at you like, No, episode was called Nevertheless, She Persisted. What were you about to say, though, Mara?
I enjoyed the season finale, but I didn't know what I was expecting with the other two shows. So I was just like, it couldn't get much more emotional than this.
All right. Let me go ahead and get this out the way. This one really didn't do it for me, Mara. It really didn't.
But I think it was better than the first seasons.
Yeah. But it just really didn't do it for me. I'm gonna tell you why. It just when we talk about this episode, I'll get to the point where it got to where like I'm not feeling this. But the episode kicks off. Superman
Where we left off.
Was that?
Where we left off last week.
Yeah. Superman's there. And it's Superman versus Supergirl. Like, let's rumble, nigga. And yum. And, Superman starts whooping her ass because she don't want to fight back. Like,
I won't lie. I kind of thought they were low-key going to try and make her try to kill him, because how they made his character so minute this season since they made it such a big deal.
Nah, you can't just kill Superman. Only person that can ever kill Superman is Doomsday. It's kind of like, it's an unwritten.
I didn't say she was going to succeed. I said she'd try.
Yeah, you're right. But yeah, I like the fact that, they kind of teased us before with, like, I guess you could say press releases, or, it was out there already that we were going to see Zod in this episode. It was good, though, that, like, yeah, we saw Zod, but Zod wasn't really there,
Yeah, I did, because, like, I remember we spoke about it last week when, when I mentioned I thought maybe they were just hinting at he was the next big bad.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, in actuality, it was just some brain mind control.
Yeah. Yeah, Mama Daxamite was using her silver kryptonite to control him, which I didn't know silver kryptonite was a thing.
Every season there's new kryptonite.
There's always just some new kryptonite, like silver kryptonite, red kryptonite. I know there's blue kryptonite, like, yeah.
Luna said this is not the kryptonite she grew up with.
I mean, I don't think anybody really grew up with this kryptonite, but I can understand why she was, not too keen on it. But yeah, they in there fight, tearing the fucking city all up, like.
But that's how it always is with Superman or Supergirl. Like, they have the most amount of, like, city destruction in the movies, in the shows. Like, they don't give a fuck about any of their cities, to be honest.
Yeah, need to be more like, be more respectful. Like the characters in Dragon Ball Z who fly out to the middle of nowhere before they fight.
Exactly. Like, all the way from civilization. but they just destroy like their entire cities. Where do they get the funding? I know FEMA's not that well funded, so where are they getting the funding to fix any of this?
I mean, I think it just stays all fucked up until they can until FEMA finally does something. So they got
Horrible
so like it takes them like years
to rebuild stuff.
before they get their FEMA check. Let me see. But yeah, Kara finally ends up taking them down, and
With that crazy uppercut.
yeah, and she passes out right afterwards. But I don't know, it was kind of made kind of little of when it first happened. That she actually I'm like, yo, did she just beat Superman? And like we're just letting that slide by right now. But they ended up bringing it up again later, which was good. Like, yo, you beat me. Like, you need to go ahead and do this fight.
Right.
When she challenged.
He was like, nah, bitch, you got this.
Yeah, when she challenged Mama Daxamite to basically a trial by combat.
Which I kind of feel like we all saw like what was gonna happen. Like we all knew Kara was gonna somehow defeat her.
And now we get to the part where I'm just like, really? Oh, well, before we do that, we got some more of Cat Grant, which is always good. She's back in her office like, yo, I'm here. I'm the shit. Bow to me.
And I came to take some names.
Yeah, man. Let me see. Anyway.
Wait, no, I have a better joke. I came to print magazines and kick some ass, and I'm all out of magazines.
Have you ever even seen Hell Comes to
printers.
Frogtown? Have you seen that movie?
No. But I know the quote. I don't even know what the quote's from.
Yeah. Rowdy Piper. He came in. I came to kick ass and chew bubble gum, and I'm all out of bubble gum. R.I.P. the great Rowdy Piper. Anyway, now we get to the part after she was done, ogling Clark, basically taking his pants off with her eyes.
I mean, who doesn't? I mean, who doesn't do that?
I mean, I don't, but yeah. So Lena Luthor and Mama Luthor have this weapon that can basically force all the Daxamites to leave because it makes the air poisonous to them. And at this moment was when I was just like, I'm not feeling this. I'm not feeling this. Reason being because now there's basically no stakes in that fight. It's like she wins the fight, her boyfriend can stay. Like that's really all it is.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I really I'm not feeling that. I don't like it.
But if she's losing, boyfriend gotta leave.
Yeah, that's really what it is. It's like, you win, your boyfriend can stay. I wasn't really happy with that, but I was I accepted it, but I wasn't too keen on it. That's why I was saying, it just really didn't do it for me, just because the stakes, they made it seem like the stakes were so high, but in the end, the stakes really weren't that high once they made that weapon,
The stakes just ended up just being Mon-El.
Yeah. And that's one of the things that I just cared the least about throughout this whole season, so it was just...
No, but I mean, I ship them, so, I was a little sad when he had to leave.
Yeah.
But then, my whole thing was, they kind of just ended up kind of doing it, in a sense, towards the end of the episode. I was like, instead of putting him in a ship, why not just send him to, Barry's Earth or something? Because it's only their atmosphere that they're fucking up, right?
This is true.
So I was like, I mean...
Yeah, she does have the device where she can make a breach and, just send them through there.
Exactly, because we all know they're going to have another crossover at some point regardless. And so it's like, I feel like, with the breach thing, she could go there anytime she really wants.
Mm-hmm. Like, hey, look out for my man. And,
help them here. Be the Superman over here or something.
Yeah, you go over here, be the Superman that can't fly. You know.
Or he can like super jump. That's what he can do.
Yeah, he can super jump, but he doesn't have the heat vision of the freezing breath. But he can still like hit stuff really hard.
Exactly. And then then towards the end of the episode, a breach still opens though, right?
It's some kind of breach or portal or something in space. Like, is that going into the Phantom Zone? Or I don't really know. So it's just
Me neither. That's what I thought it was. I thought that they had like indicated, okay, he went through a breach because I thought the necklace she gave him at first was the portal, was the breach device, but then I realized it wasn't.
no. That was the thing that she got from her mother before she left.
Yeah.
Mm.
And then that's when you go so at the end of the episode when they do that flashback.
Here's the thing. That's the other thing that I had a problem with on this episode. Like, yo, you did this last season already. Like,
yeah, I was gonna say, so every season we're gonna have a new Kryptonian or something.
yeah. So I'm just like,
show up.
you did this already. Like, why are you doing this again? So
But this time I feel like it'll be someone evil.
I guess, but like I said, those two things were why I was just like, this was not doing it for me, not at all.
But I feel like we weren't really as excited about Supergirl this entire season anyway. Like it has its moments and stuff, and it has its episodes. I won't lie, but I feel like it wasn't like our top show to begin with.
Nah, it's kind of hard to knock Flash off that pedestal, Arrow's close. This season it was close. But
God, I can't wait to talk about Arrow.
Oh man, so we kind of skipped over, them using the device, of course, because you can't make a device like that and then not use it. So they used it. All the Daxamites left,
died.
Except for Mama Daxamite, who died, and turned to like a pillar of salt.
She Voldemorted.
Yeah, man.
Kind of.
And then on to my final problem with this episode after she died. Which,
that was it.
Even if this was perfect, like even if they didn't do that whole device thing and all that, it still would be wrong because she did not interact with Dean Cain.
I'm sorry.
I did not get Lois and Clark on this episode together, at least like to make eye contact at one point. They didn't have to talk. I just need to see them see each other.
Or even if they just pass each other.
Yeah,
like,
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Some kind of them being there together, interacting somehow, something.
I'm sorry, Travis.
They just didn't give it to me.
Really
They knew I wanted it and didn't give it to me. But yeah, so what's up?
They were like, this is the season where we don't give you anything you want.
Maybe. That may have been, a conscious decision that they made at the beginning.
At the writing table?
Yeah. In the first writer's room of this season, they're like, you know what? Travis is going to want some things. We're not going to give him any of those things.
They were like, we're going to tease an evil Felicity, and they were going to yank it back.
Yeah, exactly. All that shit.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. But.
Not really, but,
I know you're not, but it was nice of you to say it. Superman gives Kara that, that pat on the back, I'm proud of you talk, and then goes back to Metropolis. And,
it was kind of humbling to hear, not humbling. Actually, no, I take that whole statement back. It was kind of terrifying to hear Clark go, he wasn't sure if he'd be able to give up Lois for the planet. And I was just like, but if they take over the entire planet, what do you think happens to Lois?
Nothing. He goes to the Fortress of Solitude with his girl, and they live happily ever after up in the snow and ice.
I don't know about all that.
I
feel like it could be like a scandal if there was a recording of that and it leaked to like Metropolis, they'd be like, I don't know if I want this dude protecting our city no more.
I mean, I know logically it wouldn't make any sense, but that's the point. They like, I'm not strong enough to make that decision. One thing, I gotta say it again. I said it earlier this season when we first saw it. But this whole Jean and McGann thing, I don't like it.
The what?
The whole Jean and McGann thing.
I kind of saw that coming. That's
I mean,
why they made
it was
her
already like they already gave it
older.
to us earlier this season, but I'm saying I don't like it. Just I'm all for changes, but it's just like it kind of takes away the whole what she was
mentor,
before.
mentee.
Yeah, exactly. That's what she was in in the comic books and stuff. It's like she was he mentored her and she became Miss Martian later and all that. And now she's like, no, they're a thing now. I'm like, I guess. It's just like, everybody doesn't have to pair up, like.
This is true.
But it's whatever. Then one thing we saw that I was just like, I figured she would end up figuring it out when Kat was talking to Kara. And then she left, like, you go get him, Supergirl. I'm like, she knows she's Supergirl. Yeah,
I was like, Kat's not stupid.
Yeah, she's
like,
more observant than that. Once they showed that she knew that Jimmy was Guardian, that was it. Like,
I was like, she gotta know Kara's Supergirl. I was like, shit. Mama Luther knew that Kara was Supergirl.
Yeah. Only one who doesn't know now is Lena.
He was like, you really think Lena's not gonna be upset? I was like, no, because she's friends with both of them. So I feel like she'll be like, oh, good. This is less divisive of my time.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Now when she suddenly has to go, I know it's because she has to go, stop a burning building from falling over.
Or save this school bus full of children.
Exactly. Anything else with Supergirl you wanted to talk about before we move on?
Hell no.
To the fastest man alive?
Nope.
All right, then. There's no trailer or anything for next week because there's no episode next week. But we're going to talk about The Flash now. Episode was called Finish Line.
After the store? Do you think they had to ask Finish Line if they could use that as the name of their episode?
I don't know. Because I don't know if they can really copyright that. Like the term Finish Line. They may be able to copyright it as far as, naming a store that. But
okay.
I don't know if they can stop people from saying it. But episode kicks off. We find out that it's not actually Iris that's dead. It's HR face switching thing. That was a theory that I actually heard over the weekend. And I'm like, that could be it. Because I just refuse to believe that they would kill off Iris. So.
Well, yeah. But now my question is Tom Cavanaugh coming back next season?
Well, yeah, the other Wells is still around.
Oh, yeah, and they did say he was going to stick around, right?
Yeah, so.
Okay. I mean, when I wrote that down in my notes, I was still, like, considerably in the first 5 minutes of the episode, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But, yeah, there's still the other Wells. He's still there. Yeah, they used Thawne's face change and shit. Then HR whispered into Barry's ear, like, tell Cisco something for me.
I don't really understand what he said. Like, I heard what he said, but I didn't understand it.
Like, this took strength and you gave it to me?
Oh, okay. So maybe I just misheard him.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I said, Luna. Right.
That didn't happen during the episode.
We'll talk about that next week. We don't need your previews right now, all right? Let us finish talking about this episode.
I don't know why she's talking. She was sleeping during this episode.
I don't know. But find out Savitar took the Speed Force bazooka, which is still just... Why is it called
a ridiculous name?
Yeah.
It, like, goes back to when Cisco first started naming villains, and it was kind of like, Cisco, relax.
Yeah, yeah. But let's see. There's all this whole thing about the time paradox catching up with Savitar, so he'll be erased. So there's like only a little bit of time, kind of like what happened with Thawne, you know.
Mhm.
Except there's no Black Flash chasing him. He's just well, I guess you do see the Black Flash later on, which kind of
Yeah, they destroyed it.
yeah,
What happens without that thing now?
that kind of plays into what's happening next season. We'll talk about that next week. Let's see. He wants, Cisco to change that bazooka thing to kind of disperse him throughout the Speed Force and throughout time, so he'll actually like legitimately be what he would call, a god. So he can be everywhere all the time.
Right. I feel like I was like, I feel like all this time stuff is so complicated, but I feel like it's really not.
It's only complicated if you think too hard about it.
Which is what I do.
Yeah. After like a bunch of Star Trek and shit, I just learned to just not think too hard about it, just accept what they tell me, because it's easier that way.
Cause he was like, I'm just gonna splice myself through time, through all time, so I can be through every moment of all time. And I was just like, why? Like, who wants to do that? Like,
Well, for
I would
one,
get so
somebody who's
bored.
about to die, like,
Yeah, I
yo,
guess.
you do that, you can't kill me now because I'm everywhere. So that's
So
part
I'll
of it.
still come back.
Mm-hmm. Julian like created a cure for Caitlin. She ends up just not taking it though, because she's just like, yeah, I'm not Killer Frost, but I'm not Caitlin anymore, and I got to figure out who I am. I mean, your mama named you Caitlin, so
Right, like, you could still be Caitlyn if you wanted to be. Like,
like for real.
I don't want to have to learn a new name for you and shit.
Yeah.
But I didn't like understand like why they made her depart like that, like, or why they made her walk away like that. I was just like, you can still be Caitlyn. I don't understand it. Like, you didn't come that far. You didn't come that far along as Killer Frost to not be Caitlyn anymore.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion on that.
Another thing we saw, Gypsy was there, and apparently her and Cisco are like connected or some shit.
I mean, duh, because they're the ultimate ship.
Are they the ultimate ship?
Because they are.
Okay.
Don't question it. Just accept it.
Okay. You care more than I do, so I'll defer to you.
Yep.
Yeah, they get Jay out of the Speed Force. I'm still not quite sure how that happened, but okay.
I'm not sure either. I mean, I guess I kind of understand why, because they feel bad that he was there to begin with.
But he volunteered.
But I mean,
That's my thing.
Like towards the end of the episode, I started questioning, like, if you knew this was a possibility of happening, why did we take him out of the Speed Force to begin with?
Yeah. And that's the thing. He knew, because he was the one that said he had to stay there. So
right, like he gave up his life. Like he asked for this. He volunteered as tribute for this. Like he Katnissed the hell out of that. So
yeah, that's
like he didn't really do a lot to. Like, I think he tripped Savitar, like, once or something like that, or punched him or pushed him. And I was like, and that's all you're going to do?
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't.
I mean, I'm all for Jay Garrick, but, like, I'm just saying.
Yeah, so we touched on, well, before we get to that, Savitar finally, like, goes down after Barry jumps into his suit and gets him out of it and starts whooping his ass. And then some other shit happens, and Iris ends up shooting him in the back, which, I'm like...
I was kind of like, how do you feel? Like, how do you continue after that? It's kind of like one of those things.
After you kill the dude that tried to kill you, pretty easily.
No. But I feel like I feel like it's different because he has Barry's face. I mean, regardless
He
that he
has.
looks like Barry lost the face to a cheese
About to
grater,
say, yeah, he only lost. He only has half of Barry's face.
and they didn't even answer how that happened to his face.
Well,
That's all. That's
you know
huh?
how it happened. You know that's why he has that suit because when he goes too fast, that's speed. Like rips his face apart, rips his skin apart and shit. That's why he made the suit.
Okay.
Yeah.
I must have missed that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was definitely like, that's the biggest question I've had the past couple of weeks is what the fuck happened to his face?
Yeah. Well, they said like that was what they talked about. That was why he made the suit, was because when you go that fast, it can like tear you apart. So deductive reasoning leads you to believe that that's what happened to his face. Before he made the suit, he was able to get that fast, and it fucked his face up.
Got you.
But anyway, crazy lightning shit's going on all over the place because the Speed Force is all out of whack.
Destructive level earthquakes.
Yeah, because there's no speedster in the Speed Force right now.
I kind of was hoping they'd just be like, Jay, you have to go back. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you volunteered, so I need you to get your ass back in there.
You must go back.
Yeah. Like, stop being selfish and bring your ass back into the Speed Force and take this L.
Like you were already there. Like it was like you were only gone for like 5 minutes. So like I feel like you should just go back.
By 5 minutes, I mean like months, but
No, I mean like you were out of the Speed Force for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You don't even know what the real world feels like again yet, so you're not missing anything.
Oh man. So Speed Force is all out of whack, and they realize, Barry, you got to go back into the Speed Force. Well, you got to go into the Speed Force. Like it's like your penance, I guess, for the Flashpoint shit, because
This is
you're
your fault.
hard-headed. Like you did all this. This is all your fault. Exactly. So yeah, this is what you got to do. And they were like, yeah, he's not gonna suffer, and yada 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 yada.
But I feel like deep down he is suffering.
Oh yeah, definitely. But only because he has to leave behind like the person he was spending all this time trying to save. I think leaving Iris is what's really gonna hurt him the most.
Right, when Joe was just like, so you telling me all this time we were saving Iris and we should have been finding a way to save you too? And I was like, you had a way to save him. You just should have left Jay's ass up in the Speed Force.
Yeah, I'm about to say there was a way to save him. You're like, Jay, bring your ass back in there. Your old ass.
They came to the conclusion that this was what was happening so fast. It's like you guys knew this was coming. You could have just sent him back into the Speed Force,
or just not taking him out to begin with. Like that's the thing.
There was that. Like he barely helped.
What do you mean barely? He didn't help at all. Like they ran.
Savitar.
Huh?
I think he like rammed into Savitar like once
and did no damage at all. Like I said, he didn't help at all.
But yeah, so like.
But yeah, thing is, like, if they're doing what I think they're doing, which I'll talk a bit about now, is the Flash rebirth story. Not to be confused with the rebirth line of the Flash that's going on right now, but like there's a Flash rebirth story that was from back like in 2008 or 2009 or something like that, where Barry goes into the Speed Force and comes back from the Speed Force after he's been gone for so long. Like Wally had taken over, and Wally was the Flash.
Okay.
And Barry's grandson was around. He had come back from the future. Bart Allen, we talked about him before. He was Impulse.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, some crazy shit happens when he gets back. We'll touch on that next week when we do the whole recap of the past season and looking forward to the next season episode. But yeah, if they're doing that, that excites me in very, very, very high doses.
But it only excites me because I don't know the story, so.
Yeah, we'll talk about that next week. I'll give you a overview of what that is.
Cool.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that was the Flash. Anything else with the Flash?
No.
No. Is there really nothing else with the Flash? Or are you just really, really that eager to talk about Arrow? Because like, if you're really
I'm
that eager
sad
to
for
talk,
HR and Doctor Lady. I forgot her name again.
Tracy.
Tracy. I almost called her Brandy.
No, that's the singer.
Whatever. But I feel for them.
I mean, well, you don't really feel for HR. He's dead already. So.
But I feel for Tracy.
Yeah, I say you feel for her. He doesn't feel too much of anything right now.
That's just cold, Travis.
So is he.
And you did drumsticks too? Oh, you were so insensitive.
Oh, man. So,
Horrible.
yeah. Let's go ahead and move on to Arrow because I know that's where you really want to go.
Oh, my God.
So,
if I could say fuck you, Greg Berlanti, like 5 times in a row, I would, but I would get
here's
jumbled.
the thing about this episode. This is the first Arrow finale that, like, since season 1 that I didn't hate. Every other finale has just been like, what the fuck? But this one was all right. This one was okay. I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it,
but now I'm kind of just like, I can't wait all the way to the fall to get, like, some resolutions and answers.
Well, only resolution and answers that we're really waiting for is how. Because you know they're not all dead, so.
But I feel like at least 1 or 2 of them have died.
Yeah, they can go ahead and kill off, Renee, because what's he really there for? And, like, yeah.
Me and Matt were just talking about this, too.
And then we got, like, this thing's with his daughter and all that, but at the same time, it's like.
Yeah, I was saying, like, they gave him too many outside things to really concern about for him to really fully be there.
But see, here's the thing. Like, you and I both watch Game of Thrones, and we know that doesn't matter. They set all that shit up and like, you're dead now, and we're not going to resolve any of that shit, because fuck you. But, yeah, I don't know. Like you said, you think that, who do you think doesn't survive that then, since you brought it up?
I said, well, because earlier in the episode, like, when they were saving everyone, I kind of thought, like, when I didn't realize that they had taken William's mom, too, until I saw her in the cage.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
And so I kind of was like, what if they? I think when they were about to have that little powwow between Evelyn, Talia, and all of them, and they were like outside of the cages when they were talking about people dying and stuff like that. I was like, they're gonna kill his mom, and then Oliver's gonna have to take over. Is gonna have to take, over William. Well, not over William. You know what I mean? Like, he's gonna have to take in William.
Mm-hmm.
And all that stuff. And I was like, I could do without Wild Dog. It's just he has too much.
Yeah,
like, I honestly feel like we were talking about, like, any one of them really kind of is technically disposable besides the A team, because I feel like they were the B team. They were the backup team when the A team left.
Yeah, like, Dinah can go because they're probably going to replace her with, like, Earth 2 Laurel eventually anyway. Curtis isn't going anywhere. The only reason why I know Curtis isn't going anywhere is because I've read interviews and listened to interviews from, like, writers and producers, and they're talking about the plans that they have for Curtis next season, so I know he's in the show next season. So, yeah.
Like, I kind of low-key feel like, when you said, like, Felicity may become a villain, I feel like that would be really the only reason to really keep Curtis.
I don't know, man. Mr. Terrific is fucking awesome. In the comic books, at least. Now, what they're doing with him in the show.
I want to see Dr. Rags come back.
Yeah, he'll be back. Rag Dude will be back.
I hope so.
Maybe that's how they survived. Like, Rag Dude showed up, and he, like, protected them all.
he like showed up like, hey guys, I heard you guys need some help. How can I help?
Yeah, like
Please,
Oliver called him, like,
explosions.
before he went to the island, like, hey, you come too. And yeah, he was there and did the whole rag protect thing, and they're all good. All of them. Nobody died.
Nope, no one could fit, and it was Mom.
You said what?
I said one person couldn't fit, and it was Mom.
You said Mom.
William's mom.
Oh, I'm like, what are you talking about? Okay, gotcha.
I genuinely believe. I feel like they would have killed her because like the way like Chase was talking about it. I mean, I know like Chase is like insane, so like I'm not really taking a lot of merit on what he says. He was talking about how like when Oliver's dad died, and how William's younger and Oliver was older, and I was just like, so you're gonna kill his mother? Oh, okay, that's where we're going with this. So we're still killing her.
Oh yeah,
Cool.
he was killing everybody. So it's just like that's just how he was talking, and he was just doing it to fuck with Oliver, So
Does William know? And does William know that Oliver? I know he knows. I think he knows that Oliver's his father. But does he know that his father is the Arrow before this?
no, he didn't know that his father was there, and I don't think he knows that his father is Oliver. Because the thing is, yeah, he met him, but remember that was before Barry went back in time and changed shit. The first time he went back in time because they were fighting Savage, and like everybody was all fucked up because Felicity found out about the kid, and shit wasn't right, and they lost, and people all died, and he went back in time.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
And so the second time everything went through, he didn't tell her, and he worked something out with the mother and all that kind of stuff, and they didn't. I think what happened was that William didn't know about Oliver. Like that's what I think ended up happening. I don't remember exactly, but I think I'm
I
sure.
remember the episode you're talking about. I just don't remember what the outcome with William was.
Yeah, I believe that was it. I could be wrong. It's happened once before, but I believe that's what happened.
Once.
But yeah, so that whole thing when Chase tried to make Oliver choose once again between his son and everybody else, who's just like, ugh.
That's just so nasty, Chase.
Yeah,
like how could you do that?
Because he's fucking nuts. But yeah, you just watch him like, yo, what do you do? Like, do you save this kid? I mean, he's your kid. You don't really know him, but he's your kid. Like,
right?
And then you got everybody
he's a kid
else.
In general, like.
Exactly. Then you got everybody else on the island. Like, they're all gonna die if you kill Chase. And like, yo, one of them is Felicity. We all know you love Felicity. And then one of them is like Earth 2 Laurel. You love Laurel. You might not love that Laurel, but you love Laurel. And then, like, one who's, like, technically your wife is on that island, too, Nyssa. And, yeah.
I feel like he's like, I could do without her.
I'm just saying, like, all these people, your sister's on that island, too. All these people are on that island. So it's like, what do you do? And I tell
when
you
he
what
started
you do.
to lower his,
you shoot Chase in the
his
leg.
arrow, I was like, what are you doing? And I was like, oh, you're just going to shoot him somewhere else. I hope so. That'd be the smart thing to do.
Mm-hmm. Then he goes and shoots himself, though. Like, oh, you fucker.
I saw that coming, though. Because the way Oliver kept persisting that he wasn't going to kill him, I was like, well, he's going to take matters into his own hands. He's like, you're not going to. I was like, I've never seen someone so desperate to die. Like,
yeah, and my thing was, I knew. Was that?
Point. I've never seen someone so desperate to die just to prove a point.
Oh, well, yeah, once again, he's fucking nuts. But I knew, like, once they told, like, there's C4 planet all over the island, you don't do that and then not blow shit up. So, like, this is going to happen. He was going to do
that anyway.
Yeah. Then, like, we talk about how the flashbacks in this episode were completely useless because it was just, okay, yeah, he killed.
Build up to him going home. I like how they executed it, though.
Yeah, I mean, it was just, Rambo. Like, that's all that was. They did Rambo with Oliver.
I'm dead. They did Rambo with Oliver.
Yeah, that's what happened.
That's how Rambo ends?
The second one, yeah. Well, not how it ends, but like him, taking out the whole, like army of people by himself on an island.
Oh.
At least I think that was on an island. Well, he was in the jungle, so
Jungle Island, same scary shit.
yeah.
But I like how they execute, because like, you know, so when they showed him, you know, killing all them people, and then he ran to, you know, change his clothes and his hair and face and stuff like that, and, you know, then shot the fire pile. I was like, that looks familiar. I feel like I've seen this before. Is he
Yeah.
doing? How many times is he gonna fucking do this? And I was like, oh, it came full circle.
Well, yeah, that was the whole point.
Shut up.
Here's a question for you. You think Malcolm Merlin's dead?
No.
Me neither.
Because as much as he, as much as a grand gesture that was that he did, I feel like there's no way he was letting his ass get blown up. He was like, fuck out of here. I still got shit to do.
My thing is, if he, you know, he survived that shit at the end of season 1, so yeah. If he can survive that
he survived
shit,
the takeover or whatever. He survived the, I was going to say the takeover, but I was like, that's not what it's called.
No, the undertaking.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. Yeah, he survived that shit. Yeah, he survived the fucking landmine. It's just, I don't know how.
He survived his hand cut off. Like,
yeah, that too.
Like, I'd be like, I don't want to be one-handed. I like the comments he made about it too. He's like, what was it? Something about clapping.
Mm-hmm.
And
it was a little
like,
difficult without a hand, with one hand or something. Yeah. Yeah, that was a good one. Let's see.
Now I need the new season to start like tomorrow, because I need to know what's happening.
Let me ask you this: what was your favorite fight? Nyssa versus Talia, Dinah versus Laurel, or Oliver versus Adrian Chase?
Oliver and Adrian.
Okay.
But I did enjoy Talia versus Nyssa.
About to say that was actually my favorite right there. Dinah and Laurel, I think, ended too quickly, but
yeah, because I remember them starting, and then next day I knew it was another scene.
yeah,
I was
they
like,
just
oh,
they
okay.
screamed at each other and they were both down for the count. Like, and they got up
Awesome.
and then Quentin knocked Laurel out.
Oh yeah, so yeah, she went down too easy. So you went down without a fight. Technically.
Yeah. Anything else with Arrow?
I need the new season to start like tomorrow.
I mean, it doesn't. So, anything else?
No. I just want to know if Olicity is going to survive. Just when they were getting back on track, Adrian Chase tries to blow up Felicity. That's supposed to be William's stepmom.
Yeah, we'll see.
I feel like, honestly, I feel like the mom died. And I feel like Oliver and Felicity are going to take him in and train him.
Really? And train him?
Yeah. When he learned how to fend for himself. He was all helpless and tied up and shit. Oliver wouldn't let that happen to him. Self.
When he was that age, probably. When he first got to the island, he was completely helpless.
No, you know what Oliver needs to do? Oliver needs to take him in and beat some sense into him about not talking to strangers. Because that's literally what got him into trouble to begin with.
You're right. You're right.
You know what Oliver needs? Oliver needs a black girlfriend. Or a Hispanic girlfriend. Marry her and then put the fear of God in his son.
Oh, man. Maybe.
That's all I'm saying.
Anything else?
Nope.
All right. Well, time for that question. Who's winning?
Maggie.
Maggie is winning?
I think out of everyone, I think she's winning.
Why Maggie and not Alex?
Oh, that's what I meant. Alex, not Maggie. I'm sorry. I've just started like blending them together, so to me they're the same person.
They have become one. But yeah, that's a pretty good choice. The whole marry me thing. I don't even think we remember to say that, but yeah, they're like, hey, marry me.
Yeah, they got engaged. So
yeah.
Congrats to them.
Mm-hmm.
You know they're not real people, but you know what I mean.
Who's losing?
Everyone. I personally think it's Oliver who's losing.
Yeah, for me it was between Oliver and Barry, but yeah, I'd go with Oliver.
Because like I understand that Barry's in the Speed Force, but we all know Barry's gonna get out of the Speed Force. But I mean like Oliver has like in Oliver's mind right now, he has lost everyone, and Barry's at least like I would assume with his parents.
Well, that's the thing. That wasn't really his mother. That was just the Speed Force,
Yeah, but the Speed Force could just stay his mom, and I would still count that. Just deceptive lying. But like at this point, Oliver currently thinks everyone is dead except for William.
True.
Like Oliver in his mind's probably trying to think, what the fuck am I going to, I don't know what it means to be, I don't know how to be a dad, man. Like I haven't taken parenting class. Like he don't know what he's going to do.
Yeah, he doesn't even he can't even call his mama and be like, hey, what do I do? Because,
she's also dead.
Yeah, because Slade killed her. We didn't even talk about Slade in this episode being back, but he really didn't.
And how he double crossed everyone on this episode, but not also he double crossed but didn't double cross people.
You got one double cross and then one fake double cross,
Yeah, you know what I meant though.
Yeah.
It was just I just feel like Oliver's losing the most because there's probably so much going through his mind.
It's also one of those it's a crazy thing when Slade Wilson is the voice of reason, but
we're not leaving until Oliver finds his son. It's like, nigga, what?
Well, that and him telling Oliver yo, you've been tripping because you blame yourself for your father's death,
right? You didn't kill him. You didn't put the gun to his head. It's not your fault. Yeah. It's your city's fault.
Oh, man. That's cool. I think that's going to about do it for this week, though, Mara. Yeah, we're going to end it right here. This has been it for this week's episode of Super Flashy Arrow of Tomorrow. You can find us on both Twitter and Instagram at Creation Magazine. Also, Facebook at facebook.com/Creation Magazine. Follow us on Twitch also because we're going to be streaming more on there. Twitch.tv/Creation Magazine. Once again, you can find me on both Twitter and Instagram at Sir Cussalott. That is at SIR_CUSSALOTT. Where can they find you, Mara?
You can also find me on Instagram and Twitter at MaraDeshark_. That's MARADASHARK_.
All right, that'll be it for this week. We'll see you next week for our recap of the full season and a preview for next season. But until then...
Our season finale.
Yes, our season finale. But until then, stay creative, stay free.
Adios, amigos.